One. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live. It is Quinn for the win and the pineapple. We are here for another conversation. The topic is healing. It's about healing, so stay tuned if you want to listen to us chat about that. But before we get into that, we have a good vibe story. Provided to you by the pineapple from the Book of Humans. The author is the author from Humans of New York. And so there's a new one that he made, and it's actually from humans from everywhere, not just from New York. So we usually pick 2 stories from there for some good vibes. And sometimes if it doesn't feel like good vibes, it's because it brings us perspective. So
There goes.
So
first one is from a woman from Lagos, Nigeria. She looks like this. Does it see it? Yep. Quick story. I attribute my success to getting to know God early in life. Where I grew up, it was easy to go wayward, and it was risky to go wayward. Thankfully, I studied the Bible enough to know the definition of sin. It taught me right from wrong. If I'd been out there trying to figure it out myself, I'd have taken too many wrong turns. I'd probably have gotten pregnant at a young age. I definitely wouldn't have been an architect right now. Maybe some people can do it without God, but not many people in my neighborhood were reading books about morality and ethics. We weren't being taught the 7 habits of highly effective people, but we did have the Word of God. I relied on it, and it carried me through.
Okay.
Perspective, or what were your quick thoughts?
She had guidance, basically.
You
She allowed herself to receive guidance, and it has been a huge factor to where she is today. And that's great. That's my thoughts on it. And, you know, when me growing up, I didn't really have any guidance except my parents. Oh no, what is going on? We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This might be an issue on Facebook's end.
That's the first.
That's a first. Yeah, but we're just going to keep rolling. I'm going to check out Facebook myself on here. But that's my thoughts. We're just going to keep it rolling. What about you? What is your thoughts on her share?
Her share?
Yeah.
People believe success is just money.
Oh, it did end it. So I won.
That's all good. Just let it go. We could share it some other way, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Save changes. I'm just going to do that. I wonder if it was 5. Oh, see? Whatever.
What does it say?
It just doesn't say. Just remove this destination from the bud, then re-add it. Oh. Oh, try creating a new one. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Or just remove this destination from the broadcast and then re-add it.
After.
Okay. Let's just whatever. Remove it.
Or
I'm just gonna leave it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, so your thoughts on her share?
That's what it is. Success. Their success is in money. And that God leads them to money. You know, I don't have too much to say except yeah.
Not much. But wait, what you're saying? God leads to money?
That's what they like. When I hear this, it's God led me to success to find money. And I always think to myself, people are selfish because they're like, yeah, he chose me. 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 And that's why they attribute all their success, because he shows favor or she shows favor to that one person. I don't know.
So it's not good vibes to you.
No. I didn't say that.
Oh, it doesn't seem like you're. But I totally hear what you're saying.
Like the fact that she's in a place that she feels great at, that's the good vibes. You know, that's the good vibes.
Okay.
Next one. Jakarta, Indonesia. This gentleman You want to do the? Oh no, we'll go with the colorful guy in New York.
Okay. Then you can tell us on the bench at the park.
When you're a kid, Jesus sounds like a hippie or Bernie Sanders or something. So it's all sounds pretty nice, but then the rules get confusing. You go to Catholic school, and some guy in a dress named Brother Roy starts beating you because you got in a fight. It's sort of like Gitmo in there. And you start to realize that all these rules are just to keep people down. To keep women down, especially because they have the ultimate power of not fucking you. I do like the Jews because their version is less full of shit. A lot of those Talmud guys are so smart that they're practically just atheists who love fairy tales. And Buddhism is pretty cool too, because it's all in your head. No pope, no mandatory meetings. Anyway, let me know if you figure it out. I don't know shit. I just dress well.
Oh, I love the humor. Oh, he's cute. He's very cute.
So, thoughts?
My thoughts. I like that he is open-minded and he's like explored, right? I feel like people who explore and are open to learn outside of one thing has a better chance of finding truth for them. And yeah, I just appreciate the humor and that he's open-minded and he's explored different, modalities, different religions, different, how do you call that?
There's more
different
than one
sources.
way.
Yeah, more than one way. And, at the end of the day, you find what resonates with you, You don't have to stick to one thing.
We're not one cookie cutter and it all fits for everyone. I've always, I hear people mention that if you start asking questions, you'll start getting people upset.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound free.
That's what you call obedience.
Yeah. Oh, what the?
Dude's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Good vibes because there's humor.
Yeah.
And I love that
it's like, I don't know shit.
He has an opinion and in the end says, I don't know shit. If you find out, please let me know. Because I'm open. The last person.
Yeah, I like that too.
The last person is, hey, you need to listen to God because God is the way. That's what I get when I read that.
Yeah. There's no openness. It's just like this is.
I'm here because of God. So the guy, to her, you're lost or you don't know it because you haven't found God yet.
Right.
Sounds like a grader to me. So that's the good vibes. That's the good vibes.
Do you know what time it is?
No, Quinn. What time is it?
You actually don't know? We're usually on the same page.
Yes. Do you know what time it is, Quinn? It is kava time.
Oh, wow.
What?
Nothing. I just saw something I haven't seen before.
Hey, you know what this kava does? It makes you feel so relaxed.
It makes you feel so silly.
You start to grow muscles while you sleep.
I can't.
What? It's true.
Well, give me some of that then, because I want to grow some muscles while I sleep.
Yeah, there's island protein in there.
I can't.
And this island protein comes from thousands of miles away in the South Pacific Islands of the Kingdom of Tonga, one of the last few remaining monarchies in this entire world. And there's a small island, the size of San Francisco, 7 by 7 miles, that has rich volcanic soils that are perfectly suited to growing this wonderful root that doesn't take 1 year, doesn't take 2, 3, or even 4, like coffee beans and wine grapes It takes 5.
Wow.
It takes 5 years to get your first yield. And do you know why?
Why?
Because sometimes it's worth the wait.
Wow. What? Wow. Oh my gosh. What are we drinking? This took some time. We better appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And not waste a drop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What would you like? Would you like a half, a 3/4, full?
Half.
Makes sense.
I'm already.
You're already there.
Yeah.
You're already there.
Yeah. All right. Hi, F Shop. It's so funny when I see one person on. I think about Stink. Comment.
Here it goes. This is the pineapple shot.
Yes.
Pineapple shot.
I'm taking a half.
We're gonna have a pineapple chai soon. We're gonna have a mint pineapple. We're gonna have a cherry pineapple. And as soon as we get there, it's because I decided to finally put it into the bottles.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna mix it with your soda?
No, I'm just gonna take a shot, and then this is my chaser.
Gotcha.
Or
So
I might do your tea. I don't know.
If you can explain what it tastes like, how would you describe it?
It tastes like the roots of happiness.
Roots of happiness. So when I think of roots, I think of dirt.
I know.
So what does it taste
Honestly,
like?
because it's cold brew, it just tastes like.
It's not cold brew.
Oh, it's not?
It's the technique.
Okay. So the technique. Anyways, the temperature is cold right now.
Gotcha.
So it makes it feel really refreshing and just authentic kava.
So if you like authenticity, this is your jam.
This is your jam. And again, you can always put this in any favorite drink of yours. So far, it's so bomb with tea. It's so bomb with your lattes. You can barely taste it.
You put it in your OJ?
Or
you can put it
chai,
in sparkling?
Your chai, or your chai. Yeah, we tried it with sparkling cider and it was fine.
Hella good.
Yeah.
And so how immediate or when do you start feeling something?
Pretty much immediately. I know for you it hits you pretty like that. For me, it just gradually happens. And then, depending on if I take like a full shot, I will probably eventually feel the body high.
Uh-huh.
With my head, it's just like
Cheers.
It just makes you like be right here.
Cheers.
Present and focused and relaxed, of course. Whew, authentic.
Oh, there it goes. Oof.
Has some in and out. Whew, refreshing. And then I'm gonna drink some tea. I'm just doing the whole thing. Yeah, I just only took a half, so. The next day, though, gives me that mental clarity. Like I never need coffee in the morning. I'm just awake, so.
Man.
Works for me.
This thing is. It's like, how do you get irritated? How do you get upset? It's like what the Jamaicans say. It makes you feel irate.
What?
Irate.
What is that?
All good.
That means all right. But they say
irate.
Irie.
I-R-I-E. Irate.
Irate.
Just stick to Vietnamese in English.
Irate.
I'm an islander.
Irate. Irate.
Yes.
Hey, it's better than you trying to speak Vietnamese, okay? And all the other languages.
Please.
Any accent you try to do, it just give it a break.
You're just jelly.
Nah.
You're just jelly that because I have a delivery that is just to die for. It comes across as flirty. That's why.
What?
That's why.
Anyways.
Do you know what time it is, Queen?
I do.
Do you know what time it is?
Yes.
What time is it?
It's kava-sation time. Come on. Wow, you are so animated.
Man,
Very expressive.
I just had a shot of espresso, and then I take a shot of this, and I'm like, man, whew. You know what I'm going to start doing? Taking it at the end, because it kind of almost feels like it pushes my conversation to the side.
So maybe we should have the conversation. No, actually, I don't know.
No.
Conversation first, and then the
So the topic for today is healing. How did it come about? Well, like Quinn likes to mention to the pineapple probably needs some healing. But see, that would require Quinn to know what she's talking about.
Hey, well, I do.
Yeah, with you. Not about me. Not about me. It's like me telling you what's best for you.
I just know that we were having conversation, and then something along the lines came out. I was like, oh, it just felt, oh, somebody needs some healing. And then it was funny. We laughed about it. Okay, it's always okay. Pineapple's got to bring the guns out.
No, it's just.
Wow, what are you trying to show?
Just showing you how breath work is done.
Oh my gosh!
I'm giving you the shortcuts.
I
am giving you the shortcuts.
Nah.
You guys are still doing the baby steps. The little inch by inch by inch. I am showing you how you can walk.
We just did a big load. That's all. Like a load of laundry. We just did a big load.
Wow.
You do some pieces of laundry every day.
No.
Yeah. That's how it is.
I just don't get dirty.
Okay, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to work out if that was the truth. You would need to work out if that was the truth, if you don't get dirty. But the fact is,
no,
you do get dirty.
I work out so I can look great.
No, okay. Now we're heading into bullshit, man. Okay, so how did the topic come up?
The topic came up because I was in some meditation, and
oh, what kind of meditation? Like, what can you paint us a picture of what it looked like when you were meditating? Because people hear meditation, they think,
yes.
So how were you meditating?
So it was this morning. Some people like to start their day off with meditation or stretch, coffee. I had a big bet that was coming up. It was on the U.S. FIFA Cup game, World Cup match.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed to put out some good vibes. I needed to clear some space. And I needed to put 5 minutes on my phone and breathe in, breathe out, controlled, long breaths in, long breaths out, so I can get on the wavelength of a winner. Because it's skill. It's skill to win.
You really put 5 minutes on the timer, dude?
Yeah.
To breathe.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
I'm just kidding.
You are full of shit.
The topic came up.
You actively meditate or you just lay down on the ground. You'd put no fucking timer.
The topic came up because Quinn, it was quite a day for her, right?
Yes.
And she had an experience that she can share with us right now. And what was that experience, Miss Quinn?
About my healing? About what I did this evening?
Yes, because that's the topic of today. It's healing. So please share with us what transpired today in a short version, or just share however you would like. And how did it help you heal today?
Well, what transpired today was an event that took place last year, exactly on we're on November 30th right now because it's past midnight. But I'll just speak about November 29th. A year ago, I experienced some trauma from needing to call 911 for my brother. So already waking up, I'm already like, it's almost like I'm reliving it.
Yeah, because it's a 1 year anniversary. When you mentioned it, I was like, oh, dang, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I was literally reliving it this morning and letting myself feel those emotions. So I had a healing session with myself this morning. I knew that I needed to release. I knew I needed to cry. I knew I needed to, like, whatever that I was feeling, it needed to come out. And
you know what's great about that?
Hmm?
You know what's great about that?
Yeah.
That you just didn't put it away.
No.
That you didn't
I'm so
just
used to
lock it away and say, you know what, I'll deal with you later.
Yeah, because I know what that does. And I had enough of that life. And I know what I'm feeling is way too heavy to be put away. It's just, I already know it's going to damage my insides. It's going to damage my soul if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I let myself voice record. So anyways, I knew I let it out, talked to myself, got support,
Mm-hmm.
and made a video about it to really have a session with myself. And then I felt lighter. And then I had,
and that's one part of the healing.
That's
right?
one part of the healing
like
for
that.
sure. Yeah. And here's the thing, when you've been on the journey, you'll know what to do. You know your tools. You know typically how it would go.
Yeah.
So you're not so foreign to it anymore. And you learn that, it's okay to have these feelings. And I know I'm going to come out of it feeling okay. Because you've done it enough times where you know that it's not like you'll end up more miserable. You might be hungover, but you know that you'll feel so much lighter. And that's worth everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned that. It helps you to become lighter.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you're kind of not gliding, but floating. Like you know.
Yeah. And you're like, that was worth it. And then this evening.
It's like relief, right?
Oh, hell yes. It's like, I imagine it like you have this backpack that you're born with, right? Every single time when you experience trauma, something hurtful, something embarrassing, something shameful, abuse, whatever. Those memories, those pains that are left unprocessed, it's like rocks being put into your backpack.
Yeah.
Without the healing work, you're not taking it out to make the load lighter so you can continue about your happy self.
Exactly.
But yeah, and then this evening I had another healing session because I had pre-booked a ticket to go to a breath class, and I've never done breath work before.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that there was an opportunity to scream and yell, and
you're all about that.
Yeah, because I experienced it in 2018 of how good that felt, and so since then, and especially since last year, since the trauma incident, I've imagined myself needing to do that because I feel like I need to scream. And so I booked it, and it landed on the day of, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to do it. I got to do it. So yeah, this evening I had another big load of releasing through breath work. And I feel even more clear. I'm a little exhausted. I'm starting to feel in my chest, feel in my eyes, but it was very worth it because there was things that came up, and I was able to go somewhere in my meditation, in my breath work, in my meditation. I was able to go somewhere that like made me feel very spiritually clear, emotionally clear, and mentally clear. And I felt the forgiveness. I felt the love. I felt like free. I felt in that meditation tonight. I felt free, and that was incredible. I just felt free and not afraid of anything. I was wow. Yeah, so that was great.
So you had two
healing sessions today, yeah.
So when it comes to healing, how did you figure out that these were the tools for you to heal?
Well,
because they're not going to work for everyone, but
right.
It sounds like it would actually be part of anyone's practice, right?
Yeah, and but you're right about that. And some people maybe don't feel that, but then at the same time, just like, man, I know there's anger in there.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, and like, yes, there's different ways to express that anger. See, so there you go. There's different tools.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know that the ways that I feel like the main missing loving experience that I've had in my life is to be seen, heard, and understood. So when
seen, heard, and understood.
So for me to feel seen, heard, and understood, I need to be able to express myself and be seen by myself in my expression. And sometimes doing it in communities even helps that healing even more. So not just doing solo, but then like doing it with people helps that healing even more. And or sometimes it feels differently. So you get two sides of that healing, one solo and then one with others. It's just you feel like a human. You're like, oh, there's the community. There's the beautiful thing of going on this journey together. So, but I came across these tools when I needed to. I had no choice. I had no choice but to come across these tools because I was working on healing my codependent self and healing from people pleasing.
That many of us still have.
Yeah.
To iron out daily.
Well, yeah, honestly, yeah, it was that and like continuing to say yes to opportunities that like help you grow. Because somebody's going to mention something useful. Somebody's going to mention something that worked for them or an idea, and then it's up to you to practice it and see for yourself how it would actually impact your life.
Yeah.
So for me, it was meditation and journaling, doing gratitude journal. And then I got inspired to do vlogging because I was looking for ways to heal. Again, I was looking. I was searching.
Yeah.
So when I see people being so free and authentic on camera, I'm like, damn, that looks free. And so I started vlogging. Yeah. And then, eventually you start to feel really good about yourself. So you're even more open-minded of, well, how else can I be better? And then next it was like the body health. So I got curious about yoga. So it's all with learning one tool at a time, and it'll make you open to practice more tools or have more tools in your toolbox to practice with.
Yeah.
And then again, it's just never ending. So I'll challenge myself. I've done some really uncomfortable things. But then you're like, oh, I have this in my toolbox now. It's like I can't go back now because I know how that experience was.
Yeah.
So it's because I had the opportunity to scream and yell before and have a whole crying session and all that. I had a taste of it now. Like now, so now I know that that's another tool. So that's why I signed up for the class tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, let me do this.
Hello, Mr. Rio.
Mr. Rio, Singapore. Wow, it must be daytime for you.
Singapore
for us.
is probably the most cleanest country in the world. That's what I think when I think of Singapore.
Oh, I have
Besides being one of the financial hubs of Southeast Asia.
Oh.
Well,
hello. Thank you for joining. Hope
hella
you're
good to
enjoying
see
what
you,
you're hearing.
So continue with the we're here in Sacramento, California.
Yes.
California.
Yes.
And talking about healing. So continue, Quinn.
I was talking about tools. Yeah. The more that you start to use these tools, these practices that helps you heal, you're going to be, it's going to solidify what's really important even more. That's so important to practice these tools and practices. So you keep on going and then you're more open-minded to trying out other things, especially when you feel like there's still pain there.
Yeah.
You're going to be open to more ways and more powerful ways, which means more uncomfortable ways of doing that.
So describe to us the breath work that you were doing this evening to help heal, right? Because you're when you mention healing for yourself, it's more of releasing weight.
Yep.
Is it releasing heaviness?
Yes,
Is it
yes. Emotional
releasing
pain.
Guilt?
Yeah, releasing guilt. Anger. And usually it's anger towards yourself, And like tonight, I saw that it was more about myself.
Yeah.
My guilt.
Absolutely, Mr. Rio.
Yes, healing tools. Absolutely.
Kava-sation. Yes.
Yeah, because we just drank some kava. I don't know if you've heard of kava, Kava. And then we're having a conversation after when we had drank the kava. Because kava calms us or sometimes hypes us up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes us feel good.
I'm super relaxed.
It just makes you feel good. And then we have the conversation. So that's why kava-sation. But
because it feels like when you feel good, you're able to feel more at ease and share more.
Yes. Yeah. So what was the question? The breath work.
Yes.
How did it go tonight?
Yeah. Explain what it is. Because how did it make you feel? Because when I hear breath work, it's like I would imagine people are like, well, I'm already breathing.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So,
It's a
you know,
it's a new thing
am I
for me
being
too.
taught how to breathe?
Yeah.
Or?
You're being taught different ways to breathe to move your emotions out of your body.
Gotcha.
That's how I would describe it, because, you know, for an example, I'll do one right now. It's
give us an example.
Yeah, so this is one of the breath practices that we do. It's so it's like breathing through your stomach, chest, and then just release out. So stomach, chest. And so, you know,
so would you do that 5 times, 10 times, or a minute?
Yeah, it would be a couple minutes. And then there's to a point where we breathe 1 in, 1 out, just a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like all warmed up, right? So you're like that.
Yeah.
And your body.
Yeah, you feel this.
You're going to feel kind of lightheaded, but then okay, I'll speak from my experience. My body was vibrating. I felt similar vibrations before. Sometimes when I'm crying and then my whole entire body goes numb and there's tingles all over, but this was way more intense. So, and I'm laying down. So maybe it's the laying down.
Oh, see, I didn't know that you were laying down.
Yeah.
So you never explained.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You didn't. I was imagining you being in like the sitting on your knees.
Yeah. Oh.
On a yoga mat.
Oh.
You know, that's how I see it.
Oh, no, everyone's laying down.
So laying on your back.
Yes, laying on your back.
Got it. See, now I have a more.
We were practicing, of course, sitting up because he was introducing to us what we were going to be doing, and then we laid down and started doing the work. But yeah, and those doing that repeatedly for a couple of minutes will have your body completely vibrate.
Like where? Like from your toes all the way to your head.
All the way to the head.
To your forearm, like. I
felt it mostly with my head down to my arms. And then the rest, but then it was very intense in the arms and the head. Yeah, it was just like that. I was like, oh my God.
Were you able to chat with anybody after and to see what their experience was?
A little bit, because I need to go to the bathroom right away. I was holding it in. I was like, man, peeing I felt like I was peeing on myself. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because I was sweating,
Sweating?
Yeah, it was warm.
So you were sweating while breathing.
Yeah.
Just breathing, not running.
Yeah.
You're sweating. Okay.
Yeah, and you're releasing a lot out. Like my back was wet, and I was wet. So I was like, am I peeing down there? Anyways, I went to the bathroom, came back, and it was time to do sharings. And it was a little hard to talk to people because people went with their friends and stuff. Yeah. I went there solo. I knew there was other solo people, but I was in the back of the class, But anyways, there was a time to share. So I shared, but we're getting sidetracked. But I did get to talk to some people afterwards. Afterwards. But one woman said, oh, no. The first woman that I met that came up to me to chat, and now we're connected on Instagram. But she was like, oh, yeah. Because she's done it before. Yeah. So when I was telling her, she's like, yep. And she was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Everyone facilitates differently. But she said the classes that she's been to, more of like for women, they actually aid you in like that you can move. She said, here's a tip. You can do this.
And shake it out.
Yeah, to shake it out. Because like I was just getting tense. And like what will happen is your hands will curl up. It'll start to curl up. And then my arms were like, it was
moving by itself.
Yeah, moving by. I'm telling you, it's insane. It was insane. I just like let it happen. It just like my arms would move up. Certain emotions that I was moving, like it would just naturally move up. And I just let myself be in this position. But she said there were times when I went like this, especially in the beginning. I was like, whoa, I am so tight right now. But then the vibrations were all still there. And then I didn't know if I kept on doing that, I would lose it or something. So I just stayed. But she was like, no, you can move your arms around. And the classes that she went to, people actually will aid in helping you move. Like will aid in supporting you move your hand and stuff, so there's more flow. Because she said, when you're releasing, people feel like they'll need to move their bodies. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I like at the end I was definitely moving my body around a little bit, my legs around, and it felt good. But yeah, that's how I would describe breath work. Like breathing in certain ways, like the release is already starting, because I'm still trying to understand, but like I guess for me, the pain, the intensity of my pain showed in my body. how intense it was shaking. So when I would breathe slower, like we would breathe that way, and then we would stop, change the music, and then it's like, okay, everyone breathe in slowly, hold it, and then release. And that's when you started hearing people like starting to release, like naturally releasing their emotions out. Yeah.
It sounds quite beautiful.
Oh no, yeah. And then he would say every round that we did it, because for people who are new, he was like, okay, watch what's going on, what's happening, and why are you here again? Why are you really here? So he would continue to re-ask that question every time we did a round to really feel into wwhy we're here.
Yeah, because it'll come forward.
It will come forward, and sometimes it's not what we thought it was.
Yeah.
And it'll come forward. And then he was just really encouraging. If it's coming up, go with it, because it's there for a reason. Like, get the most out of this experience as you can, okay? Don't ignore it. Don't put it on the shelf. It's coming out for a reason. Let it come out. Like, please give yourself this chance to like get it out. Yeah. And then
could you see this being something that a person can do every day?
So he has practices that you can do this on a daily practice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He has packages where you can get where it's like daily practices, and he's going to continue to add more. Yeah.
Was the gentleman fit?
I guess so. Yeah. He's a past athlete. He was.
You know how many past athletes are fat?
He was definitely not fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Ish.
it is something you can have on a daily practice.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. So that was my experience. It was intense.
Did you feel like, so what would you say that you were able to release? Because that's what you were there for.
Yes.
Was there anything specific that when you were doing the different intervals of breathing, was there anything you were thinking of
Oh yeah.
that came out and then you were able to release, or it came up and you held it and then you got emotional? Like, what is
my main pain release was my anger for not being there for my brother, because my trauma is around my brother. Calling 911 for him last year. So my pain and my anger and my sadness was around not being there for him throughout his life, and feeling like I failed him.
Those are some pretty heavy ones.
Yeah. So I got to release all of that.
All of it, or like an essence of it, or
like a huge chunk of it, I will say.
Gotcha.
Because I let it out. I screamed, I yelled, and I kept on saying, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And that just came up so loudly. Sorry. And then like just right. And because today is the 1 year anniversary, I let myself go back to where I was with him. Like I was like, his body was on my body, and like I was just, man, I was like, it was almost like I let myself revisit that day.
Oof. Yeah, that's
and let it out. Because people were screaming. I was like, this is perfect, because I have some intense sadness and devastation around this. I let it out. And I felt like I was the only person in my area that was letting it out. I was like, but see, other people that were screaming was giving me permission to scream. So I was like, I was hoping that would give them permission to, but it's okay. Like everyone is where they're at. Remember, you're here for you. So don't let other people, how they are, influence you.
Yeah.
I'm here. I paid $111 for this. I'm going to get it out,
Right. And it was well worth it.
It was well worth it, because I felt so free at the end. Oh my God.
See, that's what's up.
I felt so free, so clear. So like I brought in so much love, not only to myself, but to other people that I know feel guilty around the situation.
Yeah.
I brought in so much love towards each person. It was like I wasn't able to be mad at anyone. Even the friend that was with him, he came into my meditation today. I was like, wow, Bobby, you coming. Okay. Oh, oops, I said his name. But but like I was giving him compassion. I was giving love to everyone, giving everyone the permission to be free, because we all end up at the same place, or we it's like we're all gonna die. I don't know. I felt like if I died right now, it would be fine, because we're all going to be together anyways. Like our souls are going to be together anyways. Like I just found so much peace and love in that. And it made me not to be afraid of anything anymore. Like I felt so fearless
I like that.
And I saw myself what it looked like to be free. And I felt really inspired to do that, to do it.
I like that. See what happens when people ask good questions? You know, they get beautiful answers.
Yes.
I'm gonna patent that one. When you ask good questions,
You get beautiful answers.
You get beautiful answers.
I like that.
I don't
Good
believe
job.
I've ever heard that. And with that said, anything that you'd like to end on? Quinn, any last thoughts?
If you're not healing, you're projecting.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
I know that came through in my voice recording today, in my anger.
I like
I
that.
released some anger in my voice recording this morning.
If you're not healing,
You're projecting.
you're projecting.
Really straight to the point.
Yes.
I could soften that a little bit more, but how I would soften it is if you're not healing, it's highly likely that you're projecting on your pain onto other people.
How about this one? If I may add.
Go ahead.
If a person decides not to be healing,
Yeah, actively healing on a consistent basis.
then perhaps the answer for them is projecting.
Yes.
See, I found that if we say you,
it's very triggering.
it's directed.
Yeah, and sometimes I go there because I need to trigger people.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes I'll go that way. If you follow me, you'll see that I'm like all of like I can be very direct, and then I can be very, which is I'm usually the softer approach. I'm usually that, but I have.
And with that said, that's the Cuckoo Quinn for the win. I'm the Pineapple here from Sacramento, California. Leaving you with two things. Mr. Rios or Mr. Rio from Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you enough. And I wish you enough. What do I mean by that? I wish you just enough pain so that when you get over and process that pain, you can feel hella gratitude and feel hella peace. And then I always leave it with this blessing from a woman that lived through World War II. She's Polish, used to live in Poland with her family, left Poland to go to Jerusalem. Her family didn't make it. She was the only one in her family that did make it after out of World War II. And her mom gave her this blessing in Hebrew, and it's translated this way in English. Wherever you go, may people always recognize that you have a beautiful heart. Love it every time. Because along our journey, we're going to meet many people. And unfortunately, it seems like we always project. We always put up a representative, or we choose to. And it's very seldom that we actually come as we are. And that's why it hits so, it's very touching, is that the people who lead with love, the people who are considerate, the people that are mindful and kind will feel your beautiful heart and will feel like you're one of them. And that's why that is a wonderful blessing that I love to say each and every night. Because kind people know kind people. That's the Cuckoo Quinn for the win. I'm the Pineapple. Mr. Rio, good seeing you.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us.
Stay magical.
Nighty night.